What up, world? What up, family? It's your boy Mac from Stay Ready Boxing TV coming at you with some news you can use and another episode of Ringside Views. I got my brother, Odd fella from the North Side with me. What's going down, Odd fella?
And y'all know what it is. It's your favorite, get your most hated R fella. Back for another ringside views. You know what I mean? Salute to Stay Ready Boxing TV, my favorite sparring partner. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? There's plenty to talk about in this boxing world right here. Salute to the whole LDBC. You know what I mean? LDBC has been on fire. You know what I mean? New media. Of course, hot topic. Gary Russell Jr. versus Devin Heaney. Is it on? Is it off? You know what I mean? The debate, the discussions are still it commencing. Just came over from the General 78's platform, and the discussion is definitely on fire. Stay ready. What you say about that?
That's what took me so long to go live. I was enamored over there in 78 channel, man. They was back on it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you right now, bro. Is boxing back, my nigga? Like for real?
It's turned up. It's definitely turned up. You know what I mean? Now, this started. You know what I mean? This generated
yesterday,
Sunday, on OG Boxing Talk on Fanon. Go subscribe to Fanon, another dope LDBC platform. You in the dig? That started on Fanon's channel. He had everybody up on there. First, it was just Batman, who represents. He's the brother of Gary Russell Jr. and Bill Heaney, the father manager of Devin Heaney. Then I think Fanon invited Drew Titan. You know what I mean? Salute to Drew Titan, BFTB, 78 Sports TV, Barbershop Conversations. I mean, it got wild. Trill Talk was all up in there. You know what I mean? Black Fight Fan, CC, as well as I'm forgetting somebody else that was up in the building. But nonetheless, yeah, I said BFTB.
Okay.
But nonetheless, it was a full house. And that's when the discussion really got on and popping about, you know what I mean, getting this fight solidified, getting this 1.5 done. Trill Bill came, you know what I mean, bossed up, you know what I mean, and says, yo, pretty much fuck the zone. Devin Heaney Promotions is coming with the 1.5. What's up? You know what I mean? Matter of fact, we need options on your next two fights. You know what I mean? We gonna hook you up with another two fights after we beat your ass. You know what I mean? I don't think Team Gary Russell liked that too much. You know what I mean? They feel like they came down from the $2 million demand that they originally wanted for this fight against Devin Heaney. And they say, you know what? Gary Russell Jr. said, yo, they out here saying I'm ducking. Fuck that. I'm going to take that 1.5. Let's do this. You know what I mean? So I can understand why he feels kind of salty now that Team Heaney is saying, yo, we want options. Stay ready. What you feel about that? How you feel about that type of business? You think it was shady business, or you think it's good business?
No, I don't think it was shady business. It's a part of boxing. We've seen that happen to plenty of fighters in the past. And you've seen that happen to. Matter of fact, look at Jack Johnson. You remember when he got his first heavyweight title fight? He had to pay, just because he was black, he had to pay that white man the rest of his career off of every fight that he took. That was a part of even though that was before civil rights and all that, I'm just saying that was part of the contract. You got fighters. If you go look at those, if you go look at top ranks contracts, they did it to Alito Alvarez when he beat Kovalev. How you think Alito Alvarez became a top ranked fighter? They did it. They did the same thing. Eddie Hearn did the same thing to Povetkin. How you think Povetkin became an Eddie Hearn fighter?
Facts.
You know
Lost
what I'm
to
saying?
Anthony Joshua, and then and here we are today, 2 fights later. I think he did the job on Price. Now he did the job on Dillian White, and so you setting precedents right here. So it
Yeah.
isn't a really shady business, but
It's the part of it. Is the problem is, and let me holler at everybody. Say, what's up, Hustler Slim? What's up, Brown on Boxing? Yeah, it was fire. What's up with it, DB? What's up with it, Shogun 76? What's up with it, Brian S, DB, Kevin Dunbar, Hustler Slim? Appreciate y'all coming through. What's up with it, Bible English? Man, appreciate y'all coming through. He said that's exactly why this is a neo-colonial offer. I don't know what you mean, but hey, one thing that I gotta say about the offer, I think Gary Russell lowballed himself. And what's up with it, KT? Man, matter of fact, KT, you know what? You never been on my platform, bro. If you ain't busy, I'm finna send you a hold on real quick. I just shot you a link. Come join the discussion, my brother. I sent it to you on Instagram. But one thing I gotta say is he lowballed himself. I understand that deal was for Terrence Crawford, and it was for 1.5 to Terrence Crawford. But the problem that I have with it, I'm getting some feedback. I don't know.
let me mute my mic then.
Okay, but the issue, he said he wanted two to fight Devin Heaney, but here's the issue: if he wouldn't have never put numbers out there, all you had to do was tell Terrence Crawford, if Kell Brook won't take it, I take it. I don't have a problem with it. Don't throw no numbers out there, because now you throw numbers out there, you got people gonna throw them numbers back at you. You know what I'm saying? What's up with the KT?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I can't
Salute,
hear y'all.
KT.
Let me back out and come back in. I can't hear y'all.
All right, bro.
All right.
But he lowballed himself, and I think that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? But either way, y'all said y'all came to terms, or the contract or the term sheet's gonna be sent over by tonight or tomorrow. The only thing that I hope does not happen, because at this point, bro, with everything that's been going on the past couple of days, I'm so enamored with this fight. This is what make boxing, the animosity that's help build up this fight. I really want to see this fight. Now, I just hope they don't do nothing between now and to the day they sign their contract to stop this fight from happening.
Now, to what you say about he lowballed himself, I don't necessarily agree. And this is where Gary Russell comes to, when you hear him say these niggas was eavesdropping. You know what I mean? These niggas was eavesdropping. That wasn't for you. You know what I mean? That was for another bitch. You know what I mean? I got another number for you. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, but that's the thing. And I mean, when he said, when he put that number out there, 1.5, I could see what you saying. Like, shouldn't even have put out numbers in the first place. But the 1.5 number, I think, was a number to get Top Rank, to get Bud interested. You know what I mean? Because if he go too high, they definitely ain't gonna reply. You understand? So that's why I think where that 1.5 came from. And then Devin Heaney, Team Devin Heaney kind of, you know what I mean, piggybacked off that and took the opportunity and say, all right, if you do it for Bud, well, you can do it for us then, black man. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my take on it. Salute everything boxing and sports. What it do?
Can you hear me,
Dude, man, I'm having a hard. Send me the link. Can you drop the link in the chat? Because I don't know, it's messing up me trying to add it from.
What's your email right now?
It's it's the one. Hold on. Give me a quick second. Give me a quick second, real quick, because I got a different one for this.
Matter of fact, you send me your number. Hold on.
I got it right here. Just send it to my email. It's Prime PRIME 2123 82 at gmail.com. So it's Prime 2123 82 at gmail.com.
All right. And there go 503. Hold on. And there go the link. That's it. I just sent it to you.
Okay. I bet.
All right, bet. What's up with the young lion?
What's up, man?
Appreciate you coming through, champ.
Yeah, man, no problem, man. I'm gonna be in and out though. I'm gonna switch over to my laptop. I'm getting my little girl ready for bed, man. You know, we got this virtual school in the morning, so I'm trying to get these kids together. But I'm here, champ.
Already, I completely understand, champ, family. Man, but before you dip off, what I'm gonna just ask you your summary of everything that you've caught so far from yesterday and today.
Man, to be honest with you, man, the timeline is a little off for me. If I'm not mistaken, I know that Gary Russell and Bill been had they back and forth since barbershop a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And then I know on OG Boxing Talk the other day, you know, that's when Batman got on his older brother, and was talking to Drew and 78 and BFC for none and stuff like that. And now Black Fight, I caught the tail end of the stream. Just I know 78 went live again with him yesterday. I caught the tail end of it. With Black and Batman going back and forth, and that was the case right there.
That was it.
Yeah, man. I haven't heard Black Fight fan cuss in a long motherfucking time like that.
Not like that.
But we passionate about this boxing talk, man. And I just want to say, my whole thoughts on it, man. I love it, bro. I love every single minute of it, man, because we are the ones, the LDBC as a whole, man. We the ones that's pushing the narrative, breaking stories. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this shit, bro, for a long time. We've been, trailing the blaze, man, and these other boxing platforms and communities got to fall in place. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that that the fighters, they fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? Trill Bill fuck with the LDBC, fuck with 78, Black Fight fan for 9. You know what I'm saying? I think this shit need to happen though. All this back and forth shit between the camps, man, between Bill and Gary's camp. I think this fight need to happen next. It shouldn't be no Gamboa, no Fortuna or anything like that. I want to see Gary and Devin get it on next. If they can get this fight done, they need to get it done. I don't care what it takes, 1 million, 1.5, 2, whatever stipulations. I think that the negotiations is they kind of need to figure it out behind the scenes. But I am glad that Bill is making a conscious effort to get the fight, and Gary Russell wants all the smoke. And this is what we've been preaching from Gary Russell, to be more adamant about fighting, to be more vocal with trying to get these fights. I think I think the LDBC kind of rubbed off on him a little bit, because he's been doing that. We got tired of him. Gary, you was always the one saying it too. Like, you tired of him fighting just once a year, fighting his mandatories and stuff like that. You want to see Gary in these big fights, because if you think about it, bro, him and Deontay Wilder is in the same Olympic class. And it's like Marcus Brown, all these dudes, bro, Earl Spence, Tank Davis, all these guys is taking off. Their careers is like, you know what I'm saying, in outer space. And Gary Russell still, he's still at NASA. You know what I'm saying? He haven't even took off yet. So it's like, we want the same thing for Gary Russell, bro. And I think that's what this really all about. We just want the best for all our black fighters. And it might get heated debate, so you might have misunderstandings. But at the end of the day, bro, we just want to see the best fights, and I love it, man.
Real talk, real talk. KT, man, what's your thoughts on it? I got to catch some of your live yesterday, but I really didn't catch everything, man. Give me your piece. You there, KT?
My bad. I was on mute. I was on mute. Yeah, what's good with everybody on the panel? Yeah, so
man.
I got off on the issue yesterday. I got off yesterday about the whole situation, and I'm gonna just keep it 100. When Bill came out with them stipulations, I wasn't feeling all of that. To me at that point in time, it sounded like that for some reason he really didn't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? He was that shit extra hard to make the fight. But even today, because I've been following it today, they worked it out like some real niggas. Bill, they got with whatever they did, they was able to get the zone pin looking at it. The zone see that the fans that all of us were so interested in it. They seen the numbers, that they were doing on these lives. So the zone came in, and it sounded like the zone, like, okay, we'll fuck with y'all. We gonna put the money up. So now, Bill let it be known, hey, the zone gonna put the money up. So what's up? But then Batman, he came, the pay-per-view. And I feel saying about the pay-per-view, like, let's try to at least throw it out there to see if we can get them to, make fuck with us on pay-per-view. But the thing is now you got what you want. You wanted 25 with no stipulations, right?
Right.
And they said, but see, this it's kind of crazy because Batman, he's saying, like, hey, let's see if we can get pay-per-view though. Let's see if we can get them to that way we all get more money. And it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? But then and then on the other end, he's saying, but if we don't, if they, if we can't get it on pay-per-view, well, fuck it. We still gonna take the 1.5 mil. We still gonna make it happen. So I don't see no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because if he tried to move the goalpost and then say, well, nah, we want it on pay-per-view. We want the 1.5 and we want it on pay-per-view, or it ain't no deal. Then that's one thing. But he's saying, well, let's see if we can get it on pay-per-view. Let's basically, pitch them the offer, pitch them to think about for the zone, having the first pay-per-view and putting us on pay-per-view, and if they ain't with that, then, we can go ahead and we still gonna take that 1.5 mil. So, either way, they still gonna make the fight. Either way, the fight gonna happen. That's all of us want to hear is the fight gonna happen either way. And I just I was watching 70. I was kind of late, so I had to catch up. So I watched the whole thing with Black Fight Fan and Batman. And really, I just really think when niggas get to screaming back and forth, and you ain't really hearing what one nigga saying, he ain't really hearing what you saying. So it's probably just all a big misunderstanding. But I mean, at the end of the day, that man gonna ride for his brother. So, I mean, it's what it is.
I do think it's a misunderstanding. You're right about that. But at the same time, it's starting to get a little personal. So when it get personal like that with us, I think that's kind of that. It can find some way to hinder the fight. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Just that going back and forth with Black and Batman, it got me so amped up for this fight, man. This is why we love the sport. It got us back in. I hadn't been making boxing videos like talking about just here and there. I've been dropping a few videos like that, and I just these past couple of days it got me so amped up. I feel like boxing is back. I'm ready to talk. I had a bullshit you not, bro. I literally had a whole nother show planned for the day. Had it planned out, everything. I canceled all that shit just so I could talk about it. I canceled all that shit. Fuck it. I don't any day. It's
because lately in boxing, we've been having a lot of these fighters act like bitches and hoes. You know what I'm saying? They acting like beta males.
Boy, I swear
And
to
then
God,
we
said
got these two niggas. We got these two niggas, and they came out, acting like real alpha males, acting like real gorillas. Like, and that's
Well,
when we think the best fighting the best. All this other bullshit, like that's why I be getting on Tank helmet so hard. Like, don't tell me, don't give me a million reasons why you don't want to fight this nigga and that nigga and that nigga. That's why we into this Gary Russell and Devin Haney, because they both want to smoke. And they both out there with it. Like, shit, fuck it. We'll drop our fights there. We both have fights lined up. But you know what? I know you better than the opponent that I had. And I know you better than the opponent that I had. Fuck it. Let's get it on. You know what I'm saying? And that's the
I
type of
think
shit
this is what
that-
caused the argument, though. Understand? Because
go ahead.
Russell Jr. I think Team Gary Russell Jr. is clout chasing. I don't think they really want to fight. You know what I mean? And then ensued all the arguments. So do we all think that Gary Russell Jr. really wants this fight? Team Gary Russell Jr. really wants to take this fight, or is he clout chasing? You know what I mean? Because we all talking about him. He's the hot topic. You know what I mean? From one boxing stream to another. Is he clout chasing?
How would you say the man is clout chasing when the man is out here asking for all the smoke? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what we do as fans. We talk about niggas ducking and this nigga ducking, but then when you got a nigga like Gary Russell calling all the smoke, and then you got fans saying, "Oh, he just clout chasing. He don't really want it." How you gotta believe a man for what he tell you until he show you different. He ain't showed you different. They just said either way the fight is happening. So I don't understand how we look at that and say, "Oh, he just clout chasing. He don't really want to fight." The man told you that the fight is happening. I hear a lot of fans up under my videos and all of that shit saying, "Oh, he clout chasing." I don't understand where y'all getting that at. If I tell a man to his face, let's fight or whatever, that don't.
I'm gonna say I can actually tell you why we say he clout chasing. So when he first started doing his call out, right? He was calling Leo Santa Cruz out. That's cool. I'm 100% behind you. Call him out. You was doing everything in your power to make that fight. I'm behind you because we all know that Leo Santa Cruz is ducking you. Then back though, it was like a couple of weeks later after the father situation when he went on Barbershop Conversation and he started talking shit about Tank. Like you just started talking shit about Tank for no reason. Tank got a whole fight set up. He was getting ready to fight Gamboa. The fight was in a couple of weeks. You just started talking mad shit about Tank. And then you trying to fight Tank, but you didn't just come out and say, "I want to fight Tank," or formally call him out. You just started talking shit about him, talking about you pussy, you know what I do to you, and bitch, call him out kind of bitch ass niggas and shit like that. And I'm looking at you, looking at this shit like, nigga, are you for real?
Well, stay ready. He had called out Tank way before that though. Like, you know what I'm saying? He been talking about Tank for a couple years now. And I seen the interview myself, so that ain't nothing that just had happened. He had been talking about Tank for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Before that.
But check this out. And you're right. He had been, but that it had cooled out. But look, if I'm a fighter, better yet, I'm you. I'm the champion at 126, right? And I know it's been champions in other weight divisions move up and move around and fight other fighters. But I'm a champion at 126. I got a fight I didn't already sign for. Tank got a fight he didn't already sign for. But you calling me out to fight, you ain't moved up because you know Tank too big, he can't move down. You know that. You ain't tried to move up. You ain't even attempted to do anything to move up to 130 to get ready for a Tank. You just want to call this man out and then talk about how he pussy. And then Tank sitting there telling you, dude, you at 126, you're not even in my weight division.
Okay, well, we can't. I hear what you're saying, but he let it be known that he was going to 135. You know what I'm saying? Even right with Devin, he already going to 135. Even if he wasn't going to fight Devin, he going to fight Javier Fortuna at 135. So I mean, the man moving up at 135, he doing what he's saying he's gonna do.
Yeah, he shot
And
up
then,
to weight classes. I can't knock him for that. I'm proud that he shot me the way he moved up to weight classes. But the fact that it took the quarantine for him to do it, because he was at 145 when he made that video. No, he was 148 pounds when he made a video not too long ago when he was in the gym. So that means he didn't let this quarantine get him big too. So
well,
gonna be a struggle to get back down to 126 any goddamn way. So you ain't got no choice but to move up down there.
but you know, I mean, and as far as the Tank situation, I mean, we not only talking about Gary Russell. If we gonna get on his helmet, you know what I'm saying? We got to talk about all of the other top fighters that he making excuses not to fight.
Oh
If
yeah,
you hear him talk, only want to fight what's the name? The young cat,
who you say?
Ryan Garcia. That's
No,
I mean,
who you say though?
I said when we talking, if we gonna talk about Tank, we not only talking about Gary Russell Jr. because Gary Russell ain't the only one that's called Tank out. That Tank that made the excuse not to fight.
No,
At the end, I just can't
you can't bring up Ryan Garcia. You can't bring up Ryan Garcia because I'm gonna tell you.
No. I said Ryan Garcia, the only one that Tank really acted like he want to fight. Besides
Tank,
Leo,
Tank wasn't gonna fight Ryan. Tank told Ryan I was gonna let the kid develop. Then Ryan tried to go to foreign. Oscar De La Hoya stopped that shit. When he called him out on national TV, Tank said, "We'll tell your dude to send a contract." Oscar De La Hoya said no again. Oscar De La Hoya not trying to put him in there with Tank. So Ryan Garcia, that's out of the question. Same thing with Lomachenko. Lomachenko called out Tank, and then Tank said, "All right, let's fight." Lomachenko moved up to 135 and said, "Well, if you want to fight me, move to 135." You can't keep pushing. It's like the only.
I ain't never heard Tank say he let's fight to Lomachenko.
Shit,
I ain't never heard that.
You get that shit on Twitter. Am I lying? 503.
Nah, you're not lying. But recently in a recent interview though, Tank just said that if they can't get it done this year or next year, they for sure fighting in 2022. That's what I heard.
I heard that. I heard him say 2022. I heard her say 2022, but I you know, Tank to me.
I'm not even joking because I was the one on here fighting because everybody was talking about how Tank was ducking Lomachenko when he wasn't. He was never ducking Lomachenko. Lomachenko kept pushing the country. Now I can tell you the Tank ducked Devin Heaney. Hell yeah, Tank ducked Devin Heaney. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Tank ducked the shit out of Devin Heaney.
I just, right now.
Not as much as Lomachenko did.
No, I'm not saying Lomachenko done ducked a whole bunch of people. We're not gonna talk about Lomachenko right now. I'm just strictly talking about because we were talking about Tank and you know what I'm saying. But here, check this out. Tank ducking. It's a lot of these people in the chat. Y'all favorite fighters are duck artists. Terrence Crawford is a fucking duck artist. We can talk about that. We can talk about Lomachenko duck, Anthony Joshua duck. It's a whole bunch of these fighters ducking, but yeah, we still fans of them. I'm not gonna sit here and act like Tank didn't duck. Tank duck Devin Haney. Lomachenko duck Devin Haney. Teofimo duck Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia duck Devin Haney. Everybody at 135 duck Devin Haney.
And we got the man Gary Russell Jr. that's coming up 2 weight classes that want all the smoke, and he not gonna duck Devin Haney. I give Gary Russell all the props for that. I'm giving him all the props for that because out of everybody at that division, nigga Robert Easter could have fought Devin Haney. That would have been a good ass fight for us to watch. Am I lying?
No, you straight. But then ain't Easter moving up to 140 all of a sudden?
Bro, how's he gonna move?
Easter already did move up to
He was at 130. He should be fighting Devin Heaney right now.
Easter moved up already. He had a fight at 140 already.
Oh,
there you go. There you go.
Well, there you go. Yeah, y'all caught me with that one. But shit, he could have fought Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? All these fighters that we have down here, it's crazy. I hear you. I hear you, Earl. I hear you. Everyone said he said Easter food at 140. I don't think so though. I think
I think this works out. Yeah, I mean, I really like this fight. I'm just curious to see. I just hope everything gets solidified. This whole stipulations thing, the options thing turns into just like a rematch clause. You know what I mean? Instead of this whole I got 2 fights on you after the fact. You know what I mean? I hope something gets worked out in regards to that. You know what I mean? And we can get this going because it's true. I seen some type of post from DAZN saying the fight's on. You know what I mean? So it seems like they on board. So,
well, yeah, they agreed to that. Ain't no stipulations no more. That's out. That's out the window. The stipulation out the window. So it's just a rematch clause. So it ain't no problem no more. The fight gonna happen. The only thing is Gary Russell's side. They trying to go the extra mile to see if they can get it on pay-per-view. If they can't get it on pay-per-view, well, they still gonna have the fight because the stipulation out the window. That was the only thing basically holding the fight is Gary Russell's side.
Oh, your mic messed up. It sounded like you talking through a bottle.
For me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It just sounds weird. Hold on. Hello?
Yeah.
It sounds weird as hell, bro.
Okay, let me back out and come back in.
All right. But yeah, the fight is done. They're trying to get these fights on pay-per-view, which sounds stupid as fuck to me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That shit sounds dumb as fuck.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that because it's like if Team Heaney's coming up with the 1.5, if it's their side coming up with the 1.5, and their platform is DAZN, you know what I mean? Allow the fight to be on DAZN there, you know what I mean? Let them get their little monthly $20 subscription for the month, you know what I mean? And that's that. You know what I mean? And take your 1.5 and call it a day. You know what I mean? And if the rematch clause or whatever, then maybe we'll see how big the fight is then, and then maybe a pay-per-view might be in the picture. But for now, I think they should just go with the whole DAZN platform and forget about the pay-per-view fight right now.
I'm gonna tell you like this, and this some real shit. If it's a close fight, and I bet you everybody on here will agree with me. If this is a close fight, and I mean close fight, it ain't no robbery, but it's a close fight, and the numbers on DAZN look good, why not make a rematch pay-per-view? I can see that.
That's what I'm saying. Wait in the future.
Yeah.
Do a regular style right now, you know what I mean, and see what happens. And then talk pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with y'all saying because it's like, man, you know, y'all was going back and forth. Bill Heaney was on some other shit with them stipulations. You know what I'm saying? And then he finally, you know, the stipulations out the window. Now they didn't give y'all what y'all said y'all wanted. So now it ain't really nothing else to talk about. You know, y'all can work something out to where if the fight do good on DAZN, then, you know, in the rematch, y'all go to pay-per-view. Well, in order for it to be a rematch, Gary Russell got to win. So if Gary Russell beats you, you know, now y'all got to go and fuck with Al in the rematch on pay-per-view. I don't see, you know, work something out like that.
Bible English, I disagree with you. You better go back and watch what Bill Heaney said today on Fanon and on 78 Channel. DAZN's not the ones putting up the monies. DHP, Devin Heaney Promotions, is putting up the money. They
Facts.
are 1.5, not the Zone.
Nah, stay ready. Nah, the zone, DHP ain't putting it up no more. That's why it's no stipulations. The zone is putting up the
I'm
money.
looking at what he said. He says Heaney said he don't have the money. No, they are. They did have. He came back on 78 channel and said he's putting up the money. The Zone's probably reimbursing them the money back, and you know what I'm saying. But DHP is putting up the money.
Wouldn't. Now, if stay ready, if you go back and watch it, because I was just watching it, that Bill said that now that he don't have to come out of his pocket, that the zone is putting up the money. Now it ain't got to be no stipulation. See, what Bill was saying is that if he was having to put up the money, well, then you got to come fuck with us for the next 2 or 3 fights or whatever. If I got to come,
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But now the zone now is putting up the money because the zone saw what was popping off. You know, the numbers that they caught wind of it. The zone caught wind of it. They seen that, you know, fans was really interested in it. So Bill Heaney, this is what Bill Heaney said. So Bill Heaney said, you know, shit, I ain't got to put the money up no more. The zone, they gonna put the money up within the next 8 hours or so. He said, we're gonna have a contract sent over to you. That's what was said. So it's the zone that's putting up the money.
I caught all that. You know, and shout out to the Zone for that. I didn't know that, you know, what the Zone did with Fanon channel today, that let me know these promoters and these managers and these advisors, these agents, these big companies actually watching what the fuck we putting out here on YouTube. Because the Zone commented on Fanon channel today. That shocked the fuck out of me.
I ain't see that. I saw Fanon shit, but I didn't see that part.
Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you right now. Watch. I'm finna send it to you. Check your text message.
I bet.
Cause I had to take a picture of that shit.
What you sent it to my inbox?
No, I sent it to you
on my phone. Okay, yeah, I just got it right now. Hold on. Yeah, I seen it. I just seen it right now.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me good?
I can still hear you just fine.
Okay. Yeah, they be watching. You know they be watching. Because this what it said.
It really is. To be honest with you, boxing live right here. You know what I'm saying? As matter whether ESPN want to try to act like they don't give a fuck. If you want your boxing news, you come right here to YouTube, on Twitter, boxing scene, and that's really. And Michael Benson give more breaking news than anybody. Mike Coppinger, I was cool with Mike Coppinger, but that motherfucker, I don't be knowing he be doing propaganda now. He ain't the same when he was with Fox. What's up, Drew Titan, Bronx on deck? Matter of fact, hold on, Drew, and we got to give it up to Drew because Drew had Batman on last night. He had a great show last night.
Yeah, it was lit. I seen that too. I was watching Drew shit last night.
Yeah, man. Man, shout out to Drew. That was a great show, Drew. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And so where do we go from here?
Well, me personally, bro, I think they need to get Al on the phone, Eddie on the phone, and get the deal done, man. What's more there to talk about, bro?
It's really nothing. I feel like we're gonna get another session tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, I mean it's cool, bro, but I mean we are like all of us are true boxing heads, bro. We all know Gary, some people might feel like Gary cloud chasing. I heard all fellas say that earlier. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how all fellas feel.
Nah. Pause. I ain't saying that. I was just posing the question because Black Fight Fan was, calling out Gary Russell for clout chasing. I felt. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Black made a video earlier on Instagram. I seen that. Gary said, I don't know how you dudes move out there in Texas, and I guess Black took offense to that. Oh, I don't understand his point either. I mean, like, what Texas got to do with Devin Heaney and Bill Heaney?
They thought Bill was from Texas.
Oh,
that's what it was. They thought that Bill Heaney and Devin was from Texas because I guess Bill Heaney was out there before with Black Fight Fan in Texas, so they had thought he was from Texas.
Oh, okay. Because that kind of confused me. I'm like, well, damn. I mean, shit. Everybody know, them some Bay cats. They from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? But I know Black had made a video about that. But yeah, man. Answer your question though, bro. I think, man, the best thing, man, is Gary needs to get Al on the phone. His pops needs to get Al on the phone. They need to get Al. Al needs to call Eddie because Eddie not answering the phone. Because Gary claimed Eddie not answering the phone for him. So if OG Al put that call in or Sam Watson, you know what I'm saying? I think Eddie will pick up when he see Sam OG Al on the line. You know what I'm saying?
I think so too.
But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this, bro. This fight will help and boost the zone. Because let's just be real. Ain't nobody been checking for the zone.
All right.
Ain't nobody been checking for the zone in the past year since Canelo fought Danny Jacobs and Kovalev. And they just be real. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Devin needs marquee opponents. Because Antonio Moran ain't gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of feel bad for Devin Haney because he's putting himself in a peculiar situation, and it's kind of reminding me of Terence Crawford in a sense. But unlike Terence Crawford, Devin has more control over his career because he has his own promotional company. But it's like he's not getting the marquee guys at 135, and Bill is alluding to moving up to 140. But it's gonna be the same thing at 140. Like, who you gonna fight at 140? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna fight a Jose Ramirez, a Josh Taylor?
Actually, I think he actually has the best chance at 140 because you got Josh Taylor's over there at the zone.
No. Correction. He over there with Top Rank.
He
on ESPN.
He with MTK.
Yeah, you're right. But he's fighting on ESPN.
He's fighting on ESPN. He's fighting in the next couple of weeks on ESPN Plus.
Hey man, shout out to D Will and that super chat sending these Colombian dollars. They done sent me $40,000 in Colombian. I don't know how much that is in American money, but I feel like if I go to Colombia right now, I'm gonna ball the fuck out with $40,000. But he said, bro, other than EJ versus Garcia, Heaney versus Rose is better than any other pay-per-view. So why shouldn't they both get paid too? Y'all not getting what Batman is saying. Tank versus Leo is trash. Charlo's pay-per-view is average at best. I disagree with you. I truly disagree with you.
Facts, and so do I.
And the reason I say that, with the Charlo brothers, you getting a unification fight. Y'all watch what the reason Jamel and Jason Rosario is getting a pay-per-view is because of the numbers they both put up. When Jamel fought Tony Harrison and got that knockout, that was the biggest watched show on Fox. Nothing else other than pay-per-view numbers is even compared to what Jamel Charlo did with Tony Harrison fight. Number two, when Jason Rosario fought J-Rock and that upset happened, that was the second biggest fight watched on regular TV. Y'all got to look at them numbers. So Fox feel like we can put this fight on pay-per-view and it's a big fight. You know what I'm saying? Not only with Tank and Leo Santa Cruz, y'all, I hate Leo Santa Cruz with a passion. But one thing that I got to give to Leo Santa Cruz is the bitch is a 4-division champion. Am I wrong about that? He's a 4-division champion, and then he's fit to fight somebody else that's already a star in boxing, and it's gonna sell. I'm not gonna say that Leo Santa Cruz is a better fighter than Gary Russell. As far as the boxing acumens go, fuck no, it's not a better fight than Gary Russell and Heaney. But Gary Russell don't bring numbers to the table. When has Gary Russell actually headlined his own card? I always see him under Deontay Wilder cards once a year. He don't fight enough to bring recognition for it to even bring number. Bro, he's not gonna sell more than Terrence Crawford and Amir Khan did.
Well, to defend Gary Russell, he just headlined his own card with King Tug.
Yeah, well, I'm giving that, but I'm just saying as far as on a regular basis, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Gary Russell been headlining his card for a minute. He been headlining his own cards on Showtime for a minute. I mean, I don't know
but the question is, does that make you a pay-per-view star? Does this make this fight pay-per-view?
Bro.
He ain't no pay-per-view star. Of course not. Of course not. Nah, he not no pay-per-view fighter. He ain't no pay-per-view star. But
does it make it pay-per-view worthy if you get together with Devin though?
No, not yet. Like I said, they need to do this fight on the zone, and if it's a good fight, close fight, then we talk pay-per-view.
Right. I feel like this, man. I feel like our fighters, and what's up to my OG Drew Titan, man? I feel like our fighters need to build to get to that pay-per-view moment. Everybody.
Now, hold on, let me ask you a question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Father. I don't want to step on you. Let me ask you a question though.
Okay. Go ahead.
During that big debate, right? Because Batman was on LDBC channels all day yesterday and today. You saw how many views it got.
Oh shit! What happened, Drew?
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, you back, fam. Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, go ahead, Drew. He froze up.
I don't know what's wrong.
There you go.
My connection is kind of messed up, but the zone popped up in the chat, so they're listening to all of us. You understand? So I'm looking at the views, and I ain't do the math, but if you look at the views, multiply that by maybe what, $70 pay-per-view, they got good numbers on their side. And that's not even everybody. You understand? That's just us. I'm talking about LDBC and people who support us that don't even wave our flag. You know what I mean? But they just fans of the sport. So I think if they did a pay-per-view on their own and cut the middleman, they could do some numbers and have some take-home money where they ain't got to have a middleman involved.
But check this out, Drew.
Okay.
And my bad for not introducing you as well, man. Drew Titan in the building, man. I shot to that super chat before I got a chance to introduce you, bro. It's been a while since you've been on.
Yes, sir. It's all right, brother.
But it's gonna be hard for Devin Heaney to do that when Devin Heaney is clearly the A side and he's got a promotional contract with Matchroom and he signed to the zone. That's the only thing hindering that. Now the question is, would the zone look at them numbers and actually try to do something pay-per-view? Is the question.
Yeah, and that's the question that that Batman had. That's the exact question he had. And his thing was, Bill told him that, well, he told Bill, the only thing you're really good at this point is making a star. So that's why Bill was like, all right, well, you should come fuck with us. And pretty much if you win, we get options on your next 2 fights. And Batman's ideology, and this is out his own mouth, he said, we beat you, there's a rematch clause. we got Fortuna lined up. That's 2 fights right there. Now, if he lose, now he's stuck there. So they're saying, so my question to Batman was, if he can't get Devin a fight, how the fuck he gonna get you a fight? And he said exactly. So what could he promise him?
So this is what
that he can't do on his own. Yeah.
This is what I disagree with you on. I understand the logic, and it's great logic. I completely understand the logic. But when that fight happens, do y'all see right now the amount of popularity that both of those fighters just grew overnight?
Yeah.
And if those two fighters fight, the winner is gonna be one of the biggest things in boxing. If they start calling you out, everybody, me, Odd Fella, 503, KT, you, Boxing Ego, Blue Blood, Fanon, Black, 78, Fight, I can see it going across the board. That shit is gonna be top of the news, and they're gonna be making these fighters look bad. After this fight, it's not gonna be the same. They gonna have to. People they gonna have to fight Devin. When Devin make this fight, they gonna have to fight Devin. Same thing with Gary Russell. Gary Russell calling y'all out. Yeah, if he wins, what's Josh Warrington gonna say about him not fighting Devin now? His reason for fighting Devin, not fighting Devin, but Gary. His reason for not fighting Gary was he didn't have a name. The reason Leo Santa Cruz didn't fight Gary is because he didn't have a name. I guarantee you, if Gary come out, win or lose this fight, and Leo Santa Cruz go into this fight with Tank and get his ass whooped, I guess he gonna be trying to call Gary.
That's right.
So with them coming in with that option, they're looking to try to grow DHP, Devin Heaney Promotions. And now I got a key fighter on our team that we can grow the sport with. We can grow our promotional company with. And we're the ones going out trying to get you a fight. It's not you out there going to your advisor asking him, well, I want to fight him, and him, and I can't get it, so I got to fight my mandatory. He ain't fighting them but his mandatories anyway. So if I get you a fight and tell you I want you to fight more than once a year, whether it's a bum or not, so I can guarantee you your star power will rise, I'm looking at it from a business aspect. They can throw some bombs at you. You go in there and finish them out, but your star power is going to rise because you out here calling out these fighters instead of knocking motherfuckers out.
True. I hear what you're saying.
So I can understand that they point from that. So I'm not gonna knock them for doing that because they're trying to come in and they not only are they trying to build Devin, but they're trying to build the brand as far as Devin Heaney Promotions. And if Devin Heaney Promotions can mess around and get Gary a fight that Al hasn't been able to, man, that's gonna say a whole fucking lot.
Yeah, because on one hand, we feel that maybe Al has underutilized Gary. We don't know if it's Al or Gary. Now, according to Batman, what he's putting out, he didn't say these words, but according to what he's putting out, everybody ducked him. You know, at the end of the day, you're working with Al, but Al can't make these guys get in the ring. So now we're seeing that, you know, Gary about that life. He's definitely about that life. And I mean, come on, Bud. I mean, goddamn, dude. Come on, dogs. I ain't even gonna get on Bud, but damn, man,
we're gonna leave Bud alone today.
Yeah, let's leave him alone. Let's leave him alone. Yeah, just leave him alone. But you know, Santa Cruz, we saw what happened there. It's all fun and games with him. And you know, now this Devin Heaney thing, at this point, it's done. At this point, it's a done deal. At this point, this fight is anticipated. In Batman's ideology, and I gotta agree, the fight was done, and then he added that last step within the last 24 hours, B. When I spoke to him on the phone, he said, yo, what the F is this? What the F is this? That's exactly what he said. I said, you didn't know about that? He was like, no. That just happened, like crazy. Now he
talking about stipulation.
A stipulation, right? So that's why people are saying, "Yo, that looks like a duck, man," and it could be perceived as that. Now, if he had that up front, you know, they'd have been at least that'd have been the topic of discussion. But at first, the money was a problem. Then they worked it out. I said, "All right, cool, we got to fight," and then he came up with this stipulation, and I said, "Oh man, what now?" And then, you know, Batman's, you know, his whole thing was, all right, you know, come sign with you for what? You can't do anything for us that we can't do for ourselves. We supposed to sign over. Doesn't that sound like what they wanted to do with Deontay Wilder?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds just identical out the playbook and who they work with, DAZN. Are we really surprised?
But you gotta look at it. You're right. He probably didn't, but that's why you send them turn. This is the thing. I've been involved in fighter contracts.
Okay.
I just talk about it. I've had fighters reach out to me and actually have me reach out to managers and reach out to lawyers. I got a boxing lawyer friend that I always send when these fighters hit me up. Do I know anybody? I send them over contracts for them to look at, and
Right.
the lawyer tell me instead of them going to the fighter, they'll come back to me and tell them, well, you need to have this fix and this and this. Most of the rest of the stuff is standard, and they tell me, and I go back and talk to the fighters. A lot of stuff is standard, but when you send that term sheet over, that's when it's not that first contract and first term sheet ain't nothing set in stone. It's just to let you know, okay, we got something. This is we're working on the fight. What do we need to go ahead and fix and take out? Y'all can look over this contract or look over this term sheet. I need to know my guaranteed money. I need to know, the clauses in it, whether it's a rematch clause, if it's a weight stipulation, if I have, like we was talking about the options, all that needs to be discussed in that first term sheet. Then you send them back to what you're not going to agree with or what you want to add to it. And you send it back to them, and then they send you another one. Y'all negotiate that, and once y'all finalize it, then okay, now it's the fight. Now what they doing with us on social media and everything, coming out and tell you, well, this is not there, and you put this in there. I didn't know this was gonna be in there. You can't negotiate a fight like that. It has to be done in a sitting room, and y'all actually going back and forth, or y'all faxing and emailing contracts over for each one to look at, and for the lawyers and the agents and the managers to look at. Mm-hmm. That's how it's gonna be done. Going back and forth like we see, this is the first time YouTube or fans are actually seeing negotiation happen in real time.
Yeah.
Nobody on here has ever, I've seen it, but that's because I work with fighters. I got one that want me to start managing them. So I've seen these contracts. That's the only reason I know about the contract language. Other than that, I wouldn't know shit about it. But this is the first time you guys are actually seeing it in real time. So with y'all seeing it in real time, you feel like, yeah, it looks like a duck, but no, this is standard practice. It's real standard practice.
Well, yeah, it is standard because I've heard about it. I've never been involved, but I've heard about things like that. All right, so my question is, all right, because I'm past the fighters ain't scared of each other. Right now, this is business. This is business. So I'm not going to entertain the who's scared of who thing. I'm not going to entertain that. This is business. So I guess the next question to you guys is, do you agree with Bill's stance or do you agree with Batman's stance?
I'm gonna let the fellas go first. KT, you go first. It's been a while since I heard from you.
Repeat the question, man. I had my kids is loud.
Yeah. Do you agree with Bill's stance on it or do you agree with Batman's stance on it?
Well, at first, like I said earlier, I wasn't feeling what Bill had to say. You can't really come in here and just son me like that, and throw a stipulation saying that I gotta have my next few fights under Devin Heaney Promotions. Cause I mean, it's like this. If you working under a man like that that's doing the same thing you doing, y'all in the same weight class, you never gonna be able to rise above him. You all, no matter what happened, he gonna always keep you under him at a certain time. And that's just with anything in the streets or whatever. So I wasn't feeling that. I thought that Bill, I can understand you got to do what the best thing that you got to do for your promotional company. Hey, shit, it's like he throwing it out there, see if they, bite the bait. But that shouldn't have been a deal breaker. Like, you can't son me like that. But then now with this other thing that Batman's coming with, because they already agreed it ain't no stipulations, right? They agreed that DAZN gonna put up the money. The stipulations, they ain't got to do them stipulations, and that's cool, right? Now, Batman, he coming with now. He like, hey, well, let's see if we can get it on pay-per-view. so we can all get paid more, so we can all get, back end money or whatnot. Let's see if we can get it on pay-per-view. And I wasn't feeling that shit neither when he said that. When he was first saying that, I wasn't feeling that because I'm like, hold on, man. The whole time I'm out here on my channel, and I'm going hard for you, saying Bill is wrong and what he was doing. Now you didn't got what you want. Now they didn't gave you the 1.5 million without the stipulations. It shouldn't be nothing else to talk about. Shouldn't be no more argument. But then Batman, he came and said, look, that's not a deal breaker. We still gonna take the 1.5, but let's pitch the pay-per-view and see if they cool with it. If they not cool with the pay-per-view, well, fuck it. We still gonna take the 1.5. It ain't no deal breaker. So I mean, with that being said, I don't have no problem with that. I don't see no problem with that on either side now. Why not pitch the pay-per-view and see what the worst thing they can say is no, right? That's the worst thing they can say. But at the end of the day, even if they say no, the fight's still gonna be on. So I'm cool with that. That's my stance on it. They both seem like that they came to agreement regardless. So now it's let's get the fight done. They said Bill said that he gonna have a contract within the next 8 hours or 24 hours or whatever. So I think they gonna get it done.
So can Bill move forward if he said, okay, I want options on your next 2 fights, and they're like, no, can Bill move forward?
Hell yeah, they can.
Yeah, I think so.
If Bill is asking to my recollection, what I thought that they took the stipulations out, that that it ain't gonna be no stipulations. That's what Bill has said on shit. It's been so much going on, but the last thing I heard from Bill is that Bill Heaney said, the zone is paying for it, so it ain't no stipulations. You got what you want, ain't no stipulations. Now, if Bill come back and be like, well, nah, we still want them stipulations. If I'm Gary Russell, that's a deal breaker for me. I wouldn't take it if I'm Gary Russell, because it's like this. Devin Heaney, he can't get Devin Haney's these big fights for himself, because Devin Heaney a beast just like Gary Russell is. So how you gonna give me the fights that you can't even get your son? And then I'm looking at it like this. Mm-hmm. I'm already under a black man. You know what I'm saying? I'm already over here fucking with Al. How can you do more than what Al doing? And Al been in the, Al that did the biggest boxing business in history. So how can you tell me you can get me more than what Al can get? That's what I'm looking at. So
that's what he said. That's what he said. That's exactly what he told me. He said, we're already working for a black man. So put all that working for the black man shit aside. I think he took that as like a that was a play on his part. That was a play, and that pulled on, because when I heard it at first, for a split second, I said, yeah, that's true. We got to together. I said, wait a minute. He's already fucking with Al Heaney. What the fuck? So that was a play on that. That, to me, that was a play, and that's how he took it. That's exactly how he took it.
As he should. As he should. Mm-hmm. As he should, because the way I take it is like, I do promotion. I do music promotion, over here in the 5th, over here in the North Side. So I could see where Bill Heaney is going with that, being taking the promoter's hat, the promoter's stance of things. You know what I mean? But his approach was the wrong way. You know what I mean? You don't slip those things in after the fact. You know what I mean? It was kind of like a verbal agreement spoke upon that. Yeah, it's the 1.5 and that's it. And then you go after the fact, slip in, well, we got options on 2 fights. I don't like that approach. You know what I mean? Maybe you say, I got options on 2 fights, you know what I mean, for the after the rematch. You slide that in the contract for the rematch or something like that. But for this fight, you don't do that. So my stance is, I didn't like Bill's approach. I like the business, but I didn't like his approach.
Okay. 503, what's your thoughts on it?
Okay. I'm gonna take Bill's stance simply because you can't knock a hustler's hustle. You can't knock the play. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Gary Russell has came off as he wants fights. He want to fight this person. He want to fight that person. And you have a guy in Bill Heaney that's not only giving you the opportunity of a lifetime to fight Devin Heaney, which is a 135 champion. We give Devin all this praise in Black Jesus. Okay, if you beat Devin Haney, not only will you get a rematch, that can go into you obliging to the 2-fight deal. We got options on your 2-fight deal. For Gary, that'll be 2 fights right there. So you only have one more fight. You know what I'm saying? And who's to say this Devin Haney fight won't put you in a better position than that you already in with PBC? Because my whole thing about it is and the only reason why I'm siding with Bill Haney on this is because Batman logic to me is a little off. And like I was saying earlier with the whole pay-per-view thing, you don't just jump into a pay-per-view. We know that Devin is a popular fighter. He has the backing of black fight fans and the LDBC and all this. But Devin is still not at pay-per-view status. And Gary Russell is damn sure not at pay-per-view status. There's no disrespect to him, but he doesn't fight enough. He doesn't give us enough substance and sauce against these Gary Russell opponents. I mean, you could arguably say that the last big fight that he was in was against Lomachenko, which he came up short. And we seen Lomachenko won and beat Gary Russell. We seen what that did for Lomachenko. So, like I was saying earlier, before Drew had came in, I think all these fighters want to be Money Mayweather, but they don't want to be Pretty Boy Floyd. And if you look at the PBC route, which they go as to making these pay-per-view stars and fighters, they take and put these guys in marquee fights. You see Tank Davis when he fought Pedraza. Then we seen he went back home and he fought the Dominican kid, you know what I'm saying, and sold out in Baltimore. Then they backdoor and put him in Atlanta versus Young Boy, and he sells that out. We seen the route with Earl Spence. They brought him to Texas and put him in there with Mikey. You seen almost 50,000 people come. You know what I'm saying? And then he fought Kell Brook before that and Lamont Peterson. You know what I'm saying? Then the Deontay Wilder, the same exact thing. You see the big fights with Stavern, Dominique Brazil, Tyson Fury. So I think that Gary Russell has fell short of his opportunities. So I think in his case, he should take what Bill is giving him because it's a lifetime opportunity. And you probably, just think about it. If he beats Dev, which he's pretty much saying that he'll do, you know, he says that in every video, I'll beat your ass, shawty, I'll beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? If he beats Devin, he's so confident that he can beat Devin, you automatically get a rematch fight. So that's 2 fights right there. So you only have another option left for one more fight on the contract. And you will be fighting probably on the zone, which will give you a whole nother fan base. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason why I'm siding with Bill Haney. But if Bill Haney doesn't give him the 2-fight option and he just gives him the rematch clause, that's even better because you can fight Dev, possibly beat Dev, get another rematch, and you can probably get more than 1.5, and you will be a champion at 135. So now you're in the driver's seat to fight Tank Davis. You're in the driver's seat to fight Ryan, Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. And I just think you can't pass up on that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because you are already up in age, and all these other PBC guys are passing you by, and they taking off, you know, in the outer space with their career, bro. And like I said, he's still at home base. He's at NASA. He hasn't taken off yet, in my opinion. So I would have to side with Bill on this one, man. It's a lifetime of opportunity. You know, with the 2-fight option or not, bro. That's how I look at it.
Well, let me respond to that. The Floyd Mayweather analogy, I agree with it to an extent, but Floyd did have problems coming up. And let me explain that. There's literally like a mixtape, a mix video on YouTube right now saying Floyd Mayweather calling out everybody.
Right.
All right. Think about the names that he was supposed to fight. Remember how popular Freitas was?
Right.
Freitas ducked him. What you call it? Ducked him. Joel Casamayor ducked him.
Ducked the fuck out.
Naseem Hamed was spoken about. You know, we know Floyd would have whooped his ass, but he was hot for 2 seconds.
I don't
think
Naseem really ducked him as far as him when he fought Antonio Marco Barrera, that his career was done. Quit. But I think he only had one more fight after that. You got to remember.
He did. But they were mentioned.
It was right before that fight, and it was
as soon as the plane landed, they mentioned him and Floyd, and I knew that fight was gonna happen, but it was mentioned, is what I'm saying, and we knew that wasn't gonna happen. Yeah. There's a list of people that ducked this guy, man, coming up. So
in your argument, just to defend my point. When Floyd was Pretty Boy Floyd, didn't Floyd take any available opponent that was given to him, or he took the opportunity to put himself in position?
Yeah, and I'm making the connection. Because we're on the same. We know what happened. We were both there.
Right.
But I'm gonna make the connection. According to Batman, the reason why Gary isn't that active is because the fights he tried to get, he couldn't get. I mean, really think about it. He went and put his arm around Santa Cruz's father. I thought that was a shoe, and I said the fight's happening 2 months from now.
I did.
And what happened?
I did too.
It didn't happen. They're doing to Gary what was done to Rigo. Quigg was out there, Frampton was out there, Maris was out there, Santa Cruz was out there. All right. Warrington was out there. Nobody wanted to smoke with Gary Russell. So being that he's been quiet this whole time, now this beef with Bud, that just fell into place. And I didn't even know they had beef behind the scenes. So that was when he mentioned the 1.5, when I first read about it, I was like, why is he gonna go up there to this heavy ass dude, for that little amount of money? And then I found out it was personal. I said, oh, okay. And then that's when Devin jumped in and says, I got that for you. So then Batman's ideology was that was for him. But fucking with you, that's a whole new deal. Let's renegotiate. We ain't ducking no smoke, but let's renegotiate that. And then it was like, oh no, take the 1.5. No, nigga, that was for him. So I agree with Batman on that. But they worked out that 1.5. And then Bill adds a stipulation on that. I'm like, yo, come on, Bill, don't do that. That's fucked up. Why didn't he tell him that up front? 1.5, I'll give you options, and these are the names I'm going to work on getting you in the ring with. I'll give you 2 fights with Dev. If you win, Dev got to get a rematch, right? You beat him again. Well, of course, if they split the victories, there's going to be a rubber match, potentially. Then I'm gonna work on getting you XYZ. But Batman's ideology was, hey man, you can't. Apparently, based off of what you say, you can't even get your son a fight. So how am I gonna trust you to get me a fight if you can't get it done over there with that $1 billion that the Zone had? Remember that?
Right.
That $1 billion that they had.
And Bill's defense, he has Gamboa and Fortuna in the chamber right now, ready to go.
Yeah, but Batman said they got Fortuna right there as a mandatory. Yeah. And they could find him for a bigger purse. And that came out his mouth. I don't even know about that. That was the big secret.
Whoa.
He got Fortuna lined up.
Hold on. So Gary got Fortuna for mandatory?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It wasn't even a mandatory. It was a fight. He set up that fight. That ain't even a mandatory.
No, I think he said, well, I gotta ask him again. I think he said mandatory. I think he said that. But either way, that's on the table. That's there. It's there. It's right there. So he got Fortuna.
It's mandatory. It's him and Fortuna will be fighting for Devin to beat Devin Heaney's mandatory.
There it is. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. So he's saying, yo, so that's why he negotiated for the past few days, and he got it. So he got 2 with Devin, and he got Fortuna lined up. So that was good negotiating on Batman.
It couldn't have been a mandatory because Gary don't have a belt at 135, so it had to be a regular fight.
But when you got that
I'm
W,
just saying what he said.
if you move up to a weight class, you automatically be like in the top 5 rankings or some shit like that, if I'm not mistaken.
True, but he's not a WBO champion.
That's
So he's not
WBO.
yeah, he's not moving up to and guaranteed a mandatory spot. The WBO is the only belt that does that. And will he be ranked in the classes? Yes.
No, he gets paid more. I think it's a mandatory. I'm gonna triple check that though. But he said because he's
might be a mandatory eliminator.
I gotta look it up. You might be right.
Well,
I gotta
what
look
we
it up.
do know is that Javier Fortuna is the number 1 ranked in the WBC.
Right.
Right. And he said that he'd get that fight. They get more money for fighting their mandatory. So why would they sign their life away to fight Devin Heaney and get locked into 3 fights when they can make the same money doing their own thing? And Bill can't guarantee them. This sounds just like what they tried to do to Deontay Wilder, man. It's identical. Come sign with us, $100 million. All right.
Let me check the box rec. Let me check the box rec, Drew Titan, because from what I can remember, Jorge Linares was scheduled to fight Javier Fortuna.
Right.
At the end of the day, you can't sell me no dream. If you can't put certain names in the contract, you can't sell me a dream.
That's why Wilder didn't sign with DAZN. I don't care what anyone says. He went up in there, and I know for a fact, based off of his posture, when he sat down, yeah, we got $100 million for you, and we got 3 fights for you. Is AJ in any of those fights? Well, AJ's a matchroom fighter. He's not with us, but we could talk to Eddie. No, nigga. Is AJ in the contract? No? Y'all got to come correct. And he probably got up and left. What's that? And they apologized. Let's not forget that. They apologized.
Yeah.
So this sounds identical, almost to a T with what they did. Come sign. Yeah, I got this money for you. Yeah, all right. So what do you want? Yeah, I just want you, you know what? Win or lose, you come fuck. Well, if you win, you come fucks with me, and I'll get you some more fights. Huh? No, we don't want that. Let's just get this fight done. Well, if you ain't getting this done, there might not be no fight. What?
Well, so let me
yeah, go ahead.
So let me jump in because I never gave you my point.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, Lawrence Williams. Yeah, got it. I was just about to correct myself. Linares caught the COVID, so that fight was off. So Fortuna is available. Go ahead, stay ready.
So
right.
I'm gonna come at it from a different aspect. I understand both points. Like I feel where Batman is coming from, but at the same time, we gotta understand Bill. Number one, the business of boxing is staying in the business of boxing. However we want to look at it, whether we like it or not, when it comes down to them term sheets and they throw those things in there, it's up to your manager and your boxing lawyer to refute those things and tell them, no, I can't do that. It's up to who your manager, your advisor, and your lawyer is. If they can't go in there with a clear head and negotiate on the aspects of the options and things, then that's a problem that the fighter got. That goes back to your whole team.
Right.
If we're only looking at what Batman is saying, then I don't know what your lawyer is saying on the back end. Your lawyer could be telling you this is a hell of a deal. We don't know that because you looking at it from a different aspect of you don't like the stipulation, but the stipulation could work out in your favor because you could be looking at making way more money on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
I got a friend right now, and he done been on the platform. I done interviewed him. We done talked to him. He got a loss, my nigga. And off of his loss, he's getting paid way more money, signed to Al Heyman, and is getting ready to fight for a WBA gold belt right now off of a loss.
That's crazy.
Position because of the person that he fought and lost to. So those options could be work out in your favor. You can't look at it like, man, this is bad. it's only bad if you feel it in your heart is bad, but if everybody telling you it's good, it could be great. I'm a sales. I used to work in sales. So when I worked in sales, one thing that was big that the company I worked for was big on is upsell. So if I sold you this, you got it, bam. I know you're gonna get it. Now let me try to get you this other shit that goes along with what you just bought. So I can make me some more money and make my company some more money. It's business. If you don't like it, then it's just a part of the sport. Hell, didn't Jeff Horn sign 2 fight option when he fought Manny Pacquiao?
You sure did.
You know what I'm saying? I told y'all about Jack Johnson. When Jack Johnson fought that white boy and he had to pay him for the rest of his career, it was a part of that stipulation for him to become a champion. Beat the shit out of that boy. Same thing when you go back to looking at Lito Alvarez when he beat Kovalev for the championship. He had to sign an option with Top Rank. Alexander Povetkin when he lost to Anthony Joshua, he wasn't a matchroom fighter before that. Now he's a matchroom fighter. Then I had 2 fights with matchroom. About to have a third fight with matchroom because he knocked Dillian White out.
Don't forget Joseph Parker.
Yeah, Joseph Parker too. That's another one. We all looking at it from the outside looking in, but when you actually look at the business aspect of it, it's something that's just a part of the business.
Well,
now,
as a fan looking, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but as a fan looking in, and being that I spoke to Batman, because I'm learning from you, and there's a lot of things Batman told me that I just didn't know. Because at the end of the day, I'm a fan. I know some things, but I don't know it all. I'll be the first to tell you that and admit that proudly. But on the outside looking in, what I thought was exactly what he said. And it was very logical. Allegedly, your son is so badass that you can't get him a fight. That's what you say. So how could, if Gary goes over there and whoops his son's ass, how's he going to get Gary any fights?
You know how? Gary not at 126 no more.
Right.
Gary's campaigning at 135. It's not the same as when you was at 126. It ain't no black fighters down there at 126. It ain't
right.
No
but if he beats Devin, like he say he gonna do, if he beats Devin, how can he guarantee Devin any good work at the same weight class?
I can tell you how his star power just raised.
Right, but if Devin if he can't get, what I'm saying is if he can't get his son, his badass son, with these crazy hands, if he can't get his son these fights, he brings up the guy that whoops his son's ass. How's he gonna get that guy to these fights? You get what I'm saying?
Believe me, I completely understand it. But when you're looking at that, like I said, one of the biggest things that we all forget about is star power. A lot of times those fights are made because of star power. If you ain't got the star power, a lot of times you get looked over because you don't have that star power. Here's one of the biggest things. Like I like Gary Russell. I'm a fan of Gary Russell. I like how he was moving in the media and a lot of shit that he was doing. But like one of my biggest things that I've always said, and I stayed 10 toes down on my statements for this for the longest. Gary needs to fight more than one time a day. Whether I get what you said when Batman said he don't want to fight bums, so he just stuck to fighting his mandatory. Fuck that. Do you know how many big time fighters throughout the majority of their career was fighting bums because they couldn't get fights? But matter of fact, look at Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was fighting so many people in a year because he was fighting whoever they put in front of him so he could become the star that he became. He didn't give a fuck about that. He only thought about, okay, you put him in front, hey, line him up, I knock him down like dominoes. It's the same thing, not just him. Earl Spence, before Earl Spence got that IBF shot and he was calling everybody out, he was knocking out everybody until he got to Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri put him on the next level. Then he fought that Spanish kid. I can't remember his name right before he fought who was that black dude he knocked out? Well, either way, he was knocking out anybody and everybody they put in front of him. It's not always about fighting your mandatory and trying to get a big fight. Sometimes you gotta set precedent and set an example with some of these motherfuckers that you know personally don't belong in the ring with you. So let me go ahead and
stay ready.
Other motherfuckers in the ring.
Stay ready. Well, see, the thing with Gary Russell, I think he already got 30-something fights. So, he already did that. I think that's where he at. He like, I already got 30-something fights. I did all of that now. Now it's time, for y'all to get me some of these, big boys.
Is Heaney a star or is he just celebrated real hard? Like a Turl Gaddy?
He's not a star. He celebrated real hard. That's something.
That's what it is. There's a difference.
Devin Heaney is not a star. And I'm a Heaney fan. Is he going to become a star? Hell yeah, he will. I guarantee you he's gonna be a star.
Right. He not a, like I was saying, bro. He's not a star yet. He hasn't had the dancing partner to make him a star. If he would have fought a Tank, fucking Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko, Teofimo, then of course. But he hasn't reached his plateau yet. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't even hit his peak yet, bro. And I understand what OG Drew was saying, but like I say, it's kind of like the Terrence Crawford effect to a certain extent. He's not in a position right now where he's getting the looks because he puts himself on the island. He's with Eddie Hearn. He's on the zone, and if you look at the landscape of 135, you got two guys in Lomachenko and Teofimo that's on ESPN Top Rank. And then you have Tank Davis, who's with PBC, and you have Ryan, who's with Golden Boy, and he's fighting on the zone. But you know that Oscar is not going to let Ryan get into any sticky situations right now because they haven't made any money off this kid, and they just signed him for a pretty good contract. So I think in due time, probably within the next 2 to 3 fights, maybe he will be a superstar. Depending on who he fights and how he looks in those fights. But he's definitely making his way. And I think in Devin's credit, he's only like 23, 22 years old, something like that.
It's 21.
Yeah, 21. You know what I'm saying? So he has time, man. He has time.
Yeah, it's a tough call, man. I say this all the time. Like, for instance, whenever Turl Gaddy fought, anywhere near the tri-state area, when he fought in Atlantic City, he sold that fucker out. Those Italians came out to support him. He wasn't even American. He's like Canadian Italian. But they loved them some Turl Gaddy. They loved him right there in Atlantic City, man.
Yeah, he was a star.
He was a star, but he notoriously, the blood and guts warrior, he was notorious for getting his ass whooped. That's what he was known for, but they loved him. So I completely understand. But Bill also understands that Gary's serious, man. And if he go up in there and whoop, Devin's ass, man. I mean, look, man. It makes perfect sense. That's a Don King move. Always leave with the winner. I don't give a fuck who Don King walked to the ring with. Right. He left with the winner. So he's just doing it in his face. Like, I want to leave with the potential winner. And I just didn't like how he threw in the Black Power shit, only because if you wasn't listening, if you wasn't paying attention, if you wasn't quick on your feet, you say to yourself, wait a minute, that would make sense if Gary was being promoted by Lou DiBella or some shit like that. The guy's being promoted by Al Heyman, man. Stop playing with us, man.
OG Drew, not to cut you off, because I want to go back and watch that one. Where did he say that on? Did he say that on for 978? Which one was that?
He said it during the he said it on 78 that Sunday when 78 did the impromptu. They were only like 3 hours, and all the big dogs was on that shit. And that's when him and Black started going back and forth with it, because we all know Black's stance on it, keeping things in house. And we do need to do that. And when I heard it, I said, wow, that does make sense. And then I said, wait. He's fucking with Al Heyman already. So why did Bill do that? Bill was trying to pull on our heartstrings with that, man. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to, I was like, oh, come on, Bill, don't do that. That right there, he need to do that right there. All right. Don't pull that move right there. That was a move right there. That was a pump fake, man. Listen, first they wanted 2. Then he said, no, take the 5. Then he said, yo, let's do the 1.5. Then the next day it's like, yo, 1.5. And if you win, I want to control your next 2 to 3 fights. Come on, B. You can't do that. Well, you can, but that's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. Don't do that, man. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, brother. Don't do him like that. All right. Why didn't he just ask him up front? That's something he could have did out of earshot. Yo, listen, fellas, yo, if you do beat my son, can I work with y'all? Can we work together? And would he be able to sign with Devin Heaney Promotions? And if I can get you a couple of good fights and more money, would you be interested in doing that? Yes or no? But he aired it out for us to hear, and he made it a play. He tried to play on our hearts with that. And I'm like, man, that was fucked up, man. He shouldn't have did that.
Well,
because
it's fucked up, but I think you looking at it more so from a fan's aspect. Like, we fuck with Trill Bill and we just see, Trill Bill coming in, popping his shit and, putting on for Dell, but we really haven't seen the behind the scenes Bill where he's trying to make moves and do business. And I think we kind of got a glimpse of Bill Heaney, the CEO of Devin Heaney Promotions.
They aired it out. This is the first time. That's what the LDBC did, some historic shit, because they aired out all the business in front of us.
Right.
So we can honestly say that we know everything that's going on in this thing. There's no more, or we don't know, they're behind closed doors, we weren't there. No, we were there. We all seen it. We can go look at it right now. It was like a 3-hour stream. We hear from one camp to the other camp. And one thing I can say is consistent is that Bill moved the goalpost. And he didn't need to do, well, I'm not going to say what he does what he wants. Everyone's grown. But he, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. All right. I could be looking at it from a fan's perspective, but as a business perspective, I'd have took it like how Batman took it. Right. Motherfucker, first you wanted $2 million. Well, we asked for $2 million. He said add an extra 5 on that. They told him no. Then they were saying that Gary was ducking. Then they spoke behind closed doors. And then he called me on Friday and was like, yo, I want to come on your show. I got some news. I said, bet. Friday couldn't. I said, my show is on Saturday. I'm on Sunday. Then Sunday morning, I'm with Fanon on OG Boxing Talk, and y'all know what happened. He popped up, and then he started dropping more gems. And I just stepped back, and then 78 went live, and it kept on. I'm at the park doing calisthenics, and it just escalated from there. And then Sunday, that's when he hit me with the yo. We got Fortuna lined up, and that's when he told me we can get the same or more money, fucking with our mandatory. That's why I'm saying Fortuna's is mandatory, because he said it. Right?
Well, and I want to say this, bro. I want to say this, and I'm going to let whoever want to go after this. I want to say, man, salute to you, bro. And I got to give you your flowers while you on here, man, because I know you and Batman, y'all kind of got a close, tight relationship. So I want to thank you, bro, because you kind of was the one that got the ball rolling with bringing Bat on. And then, of course, Bill always fuck with everybody. He pays attention to everybody's streams and shit like that. So, man, bro, that was probably some of the best, authentic, innovative shit, you know what I'm saying, that we done did thus far, bro. And you was, one of the big dogs that put that play together, you know what I'm saying? And when this fight come together, bro, I just want you to sit back and be like, man, yeah, we did that shit, you know what I'm saying? And real quick, like I say, I understand what Batman is saying. They could probably get more for Fortuna, but bro, why would you fight the mandatory for more money or about the same amount of money when you can skip the mandatory and fight the big dog and the champion? You can take the throne and you can write your own ticket after that.
It was posture. It was posture. He postured, and believe it or not, he generated compliance when he postured.
Right.
And it worked. And I'm gonna tell you something else that I picked up on, man. Shout out to the chat. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all. Thank you. Corner Girl, Harrison Hughes. Thank you. Bible English. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you, the way Bill didn't let it go, because at one point, Batman was like, "Yo, fuck it, man. Pack it up. We're gonna go fight Fortuna. Fuck it. I'm not gonna get away with this." The way Bill didn't let that go, it told me something. If Devin can't get a fight, a legitimate fight, if he can't get Ryan Garcia in the ring, if he can't get Gary Russell in the ring, what is Devin really going to do? So that split moment when Batman was ready to pack it up, that split moment, I saw Bill, and I could be wrong, but I was just reading it. I saw Bill say, "Wait a minute now, wait a minute." It's like he was scrambling like eggs on a Sunday morning. I was like, "Uh-oh." So it's a if you can't get no fights for your son because he's that good, and Gary has been ducked legitimately, which is why it kind of explains his inactivity because he's that good. I don't care what anyone says. He went up to 147 he offered to go to 147, and he punked the people. He punked Bud, who we not too long ago had him number one pound for pound. He punked him, and then he looked behind and he was called out by Devin. And now he's saying, "Yo, all right, little nigga, you talking shit? Let's do these numbers." They complied with the numbers, and Bill erected another obstacle. All right. Now, I understand that aspect of it. I understand the business, but if he doesn't get compliance with that, if Bill walks away from that fight, whose fault is that? I'm not blaming Gary for that, man. Gary's looking for all the smoke. I won't be surprised if he call out fucking Alexander Usyk tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? He's on that type of time right now.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and this is something I gotta admit it, my goddamn self. I was wrong, and I'll be the first to say that I was fucking wrong. Like we said, we was calling him clout chasing, but this motherfucker they sent him a contract and he ready to sign. Like it's nothing I can knock about that. The only thing I don't want to see him in Crawford fight because I don't feel like he can beat Crawford. But if he go in there with everything that he's doing and he's letting his nut, bro, this motherfucker's letting his nuts hang like he got elephant nuts and he only 4'11". You feel what I'm saying? This motherfucker got great food for nuts, my nigga, and he's out here. Don't give a fuck who you are. I want to fight you. So I gotta sit back and just say I was wrong. It ain't hard for me to say I was wrong. And I think Gary Russell really wants these fights. But is he going about it in the wrong way? In some cases, yeah. But at the same time, if don't nobody else believe in you, who else gonna believe in you? Yourself. Yeah. And he's over here believing in himself and going in here and saying, I can win these fights. So when he gets in these fights and if he make these fights tougher than we expected, it make me look at Gary Russell in a whole nother light. Like this motherfucker's a problem.
And if he go in there and whoop Devin Heaney ass like he say he gonna do, Jesus Christ, man. I listen, you know how we say we told Loma, yo, all right, you on fire right now. Go run that back with Salido. And his camp and his fan base says, you know what? He was winning the last part of that fight. He don't need to run back. Why do that? And so much to the point where they try and bamboozle us and say that loss never happened. Notice how no one talks about it but us. If he go in there and whoop Devin Heaney ass, Loma, that fight, that rematch is never, ever, ever. Loma will jump up to 147 to fight Bud before he fight Gary again.
I'm gonna tell you, and this is some real shit. If Gary Russell go in here and beat Devin Heaney, he is number one pound for pound, and I could give a fuck what nobody say.
I agree. If he beats Devin, and there's a rematch clause too. If he beats Devin twice, I mean, if he Roy Jones if he Jones Tarvers it, I'm talking about not the first fight. I think Roy won. It's just that Tarver won the drama of the fight, but he didn't do enough to win the fight. The rematch, there was no question. If Gary Russell goes up there and convincingly beats Devin Heaney, and then in the rematch makes it look worse, he is number one pound for pound, man. Yeah. There's no question. I'm not arguing with nobody. I don't want to hear shit.
I'm gonna tell you another thing. If he do that, I'm gonna look at Bud a certain way.
It's gonna make me question Bud too. I'm gonna look at him and say, "Yo, look, I think that shit that he's talking about really did happen, man. I think you don't want no smoke.
It happened.
It happened.
It happened.
It's arguable. Too soon, man. I'm gonna have to dispute that. You know what I mean?
How though?
Devin Heaney at that, you beat Devin Heaney. You know what I mean? To give Gary Russell pound for pound, that's not enough.
You know why, Odd
You know what I
Fella?
mean?
You know why, Odd Fella? You know
Go
why,
ahead.
Odd Fella? I'm gonna tell you why. A welterweight ducked him, and this was and not only was a welterweight, it was a guy that walked around. He cleared out 135 and 140, and magically at 147, he claims he's looking for all the smoke, and he's ducking this little dude, right? So I'll give him crop. For me, that's a win. That's just me personally. That's number one. Number two, the fact that an entire division ducked him off of a Loma loss, they ducked him. And he went undefeated all this time because all of these clowns, Mares, Quigg, Frampton, all of these guys, they did the Macarena around this dude. They didn't want no parts of him at all. Nothing. They want no parts of him. And they claim that Devin can't get no fights. Now he go up there and whoop Devin's ass 2 times. And what he gonna do now? Chase if he whoop Devin ass, right? Who's gonna fight him? Does he have to run around and find Tank? He's gonna have to chase Tank around all these guys, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm ready to put him number one. If he goes up there and does what he says he's gonna do to Devin, I'm putting him number one based off of what these motherfuckers. Now it's gonna make sense why everyone avoided him. Now it'll make sense.
So check this out.
I think, hold on, stay ready. To answer what Drew was saying, I think if he does beat Dev twice, he definitely is pound for pound top 5. But I think in order to solidify himself at the throne, number one, he will have to take down the winner of Lomachenko and Lopez.
Thank you. I most definitely agree with that. Go ahead.
So
If they fight him,
this is why I'm gonna disagree with both of y'all. What is the pound for pound is if somebody can go to any division and actually win with the skill level. Not saying they can actually go, pound for pound was made because of Sugar Ray Robinson. Saying with his skill level, if he was at any of those weight classes and actually, that height, that weight, or whatever, with his skill level, could he win? Right? That is the definition of pound for pound. Am I lying?
Right.
Correct.
Right.
All right. So check this out. He's at 126. He's a champion at 126. He said, fuck 130. I'm going to 135, and I'm fighting the WBC champion at 135, who's the current boogeyman at 135 because everybody at 135 ducked him. Everybody at 135 ducked him. He goes in this fight and he beats him. He's the smaller fighter. He's moved up, and his skill level showed you I'm the best thing smoking. How can he not be pound for pound?
Because you talking all that is on paper, bro.
I'm not
all that is on paper. First of all, let's be real. Devin Heaney was gifted his belt. He didn't get that belt fighting no elite top 5 contender.
Bro. And in Devin's defense, Lomachenko ducked him, but he still, like we were saying earlier, Devin Heaney is not a star. So even if Gary Russell beats Devin Heaney, there are people are going to say, not us, but people probably in other boxing platforms or whatever, they're going to say, oh, Gary Russell beat inexperienced and the young Devin Heaney twice. Now,
so this is where I'm going to come at y'all at.
Right.
Like, top 5 pound for pound right now, they got Monster fucking Inoue. Who the fuck has Monster Inoue beat besides one of my favorite fighters in Donito Donaire?
But he's cleared out of the division, bro. Dev has not done that.
Hold on, but check this out. It ain't what Dev has done. It's what Gary Russell is doing. See, that's what y'all looking at as what his opponent's done. Fuck what the opponent done. His opponent is the boogeyman at 135, and Monster Inoue ain't beat nobody. But before he fought Donaire, they had them top 5 pound for pound. So why can't Gary Russell be pound for pound if he went up there and beat a Devin Haney? Why can't he? He
damn sure did.
I can't argue the fact that he could get on a pound for pound list, but as far as giving him number one, Gary Russell Jr. number one on the pound for pound list, I can't do it after Devin Haney win Because to me, Devin Heaney he has all the upside in the world, but he still hasn't proven himself to be, you know what I mean, a top tier talent. Not said that wrong. Not even a top tier talent. He hasn't shown himself to be just a long-standing champion.
Bro,
his career has just started.
Nobody in boxing has held their title longer than Gary Russell. Nobody.
Who would we put? Okay, if he goes up there and beats Devin Haney, who do we put ahead of Gary Russell in pound for pound?
There you go. That's a better question.
Who do you put ahead of if he beats Devin Haney? If Jamel Charlo beats Jason Rosario and unifies the division, I will put Jamel Charlo ahead of him. That's just my opinion. Like I say, the pound for pound shit is subjective, it's biased. You're gonna have guys looking for certain criteria and protocols. That's just me. What?
And whether we like it or not, Bud still got to be above that. He was a champion at 135. He was undisputed at 140, and he's still a champion at 147. Last time I checked, he's still undefeated.
Right.
I was Gary Russell Jr. Overtaking Bud just because we don't like him no more, and just because he beat an inexperienced Devin Haney.
Okay, all right. Well, let me say this. We all know that boxing is a "what have you done for me lately" sport.
Right.
We all know that. What has Bud done for us lately, other than break our hearts? Other than duck a guy that walked around at 126, other than have multiple fights at 147 on the table, and I don't know why the fuck he's still waiting on Errol. He's not fighting you. Okay, so what are you gonna do this time? Keith Thurman was sitting right there with his long hair off of the Pacquiao loss to the beat of the rhythm of the night, looking ass motherfucker. You don't want to fight him, and you want to fucking fight Kell Brook. Both eye sockets broken. If he don't mollywop Kell Brook, man, come on, dogs. So what have you done for me lately? We gave him his props, 135, 140. Okay, now you're in a whole new division. Reset the game now. So come on, Bud. It's hard for me to root for Bud. So, okay, according to certain on paper, I got Jamel Charlo ahead. This is just going off of if Devin Haney loses to Gary Russell. I've heard Charlo ahead of him. So we got five. Okay. Some people are going to say Inoue. I heard Charlo. I still hear Bud. Who else? You want to put Errol in there?
Yeah.
Okay, we put Errol in there because not even. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Now you can put EJ in there. EJ is okay.
All right, so who would be the first? Who would be the last person? That's five people. Who would be the last person? You want to talk about Manny Pacquiao?
We can't put Lomachenko in there, even though he has a win over, you know what I mean, a close win, split decision win over Gary Russell Jr. Got to be on that list.
Yep.
Okay, you want to put him there? We can put him there. He never ran it back with Salido, but that's a personal thing I got. That's
personal. Gonna bring up the beer baron, huh? Gonna bring up the beer baron.
Yeah, that's just personal. That's personal. Okay, so we want to give him props for Nicholas Waters and Jorge Linares. We want to give him props for that. Fine. Okay. Who's that?
Luke Campbell. He beat Luke Campbell too.
Who the fuck? I don't care.
Oh, y'all see what Ty D said?
What's that?
Bud been at 146 for 3 years. We got to stop the 135, 140 talk.
I hear you, fam. I hear you.
Valid point. That's a valid point.
I hear you. And that's why we not fucking with
that talk. You know what I mean? Ain't that part of history?
Well, the reason why we got to stop it because
like we got to maybe if we stop talking about amateurs, we can stop talking about amateur fights. But this is part of his professional career. And his championship career, nonetheless.
But he hasn't done shit at 147, but beat Jeff Horn.
But all right, fellas,
and we all knew that was going to happen.
The only reason,
yeah, but that doesn't. But we talking pound for pound, not his status at welterweight.
Check this out, all right, fellas. The only reason we gave him pound for pound is what he's done before he was at 147, and he went and got good at 147. But since he's been there, he's digressed. Here's the thing. Most fighters they keep they. Matter of fact, when Floyd Mayweather was the top fighter, when it was #1 pound for pound, what was Floyd Mayweather doing? Still fighting the best in the division, still fighting top competition. What the fuck is Bud doing? He's not fighting top competition. He's falling out.
Yo, Mac, check this out. You know who no one mentioned?
Who?
Canelo Alvarez.
I got Canelo as one of the top. To me, I had him over Bud, and a lot of fellows didn't like that.
Now, I said the name. Now, what's the problem?
But I don't got him because he a drug cheat.
Okay. But let the record show. Look at his accomplishments.
Yeah,
I got it.
And does pound for pound, do we include drug cheating in that? Is that a criteria we're adding to take away from that? That's the new thing? Because we wasn't thinking about that when it was created for Ray Robinson. So that's another criteria we added.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I definitely got Canelo.
It's a new cap. It's a new era.
Hey, hold on. KT hasn't spoken in a while. What did you say, KT?
I said I definitely got Canelo over Bud. I mean, yeah, you got the drug cheating and all of that, but I mean, look at who he fought. Look at his accomplishments. You can't put Bud up there because look at Bud's resume. Even at 140 and 135, who has he really fought? Like, I mean, the man became undisputed by beating Julius Ndongo. His own family came on my show and said that Julius Ndongo was down in Nebraska getting the shit beat out of him by kids in their gym.
Oh shit!
And I'm gonna tell you something else, just to add on to what he said. Whether we like Canelo or not, and whether he's fighting the old man or not, he's doing it strategically to where when we come back 10 to 20 years from now, you're gonna look at what he done. Like, damn, this motherfucker was out here trying to fight everything smoking, and this nigga's a little dude. Y'all gotta look at Canelo. Canelo ain't a big dude; he's little.
No, I've been right next to him. He's a small dude. Yo, people Lawrence Williams said. We ain't even mentioned Usyk. Usyk cleaned out his entire division.
Right. Okay. On Wikipedia right now, and this from the Boxing Writers Association of America. The top 5 fighters they got in there is Canelo at #1, Vasily Lomachenko at #2, Terence Crawford is #3, Monster Inoue is #4, and Errol Spence Jr. is #5.
How is Inoue ahead of Errol?
And how is Inoue ahead of Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah,
it's based off of height for one, and number two is based off of the fact that he's been jumping 4-pound divisions. You know what I mean? He has the luxury of doing that, so they're giving him that credit. Where Errol Spence has only been a welterweight. You know what I mean? A welter unified at that, but he's been at one division his whole career.
Yo, y'all remember Chris John out of Indonesia?
I do.
Yeah, the lightweight.
He was a bad motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Remember his record? How long he went undefeated?
Like 42 something, 40 something fights.
Yo, and no one talks about it. You see what I'm saying? Marketing and promotion. Hey, no one talks about Chris John.
What's that kid that's 83-0 right now?
What?
Yeah, it is. It's one of he's down there like a flyweight. No lie.
Who's that?
Nah, he ain't like 83-0. I think he like 54-0. And
Still.
actually, Golden Boy Promotion just signed him.
They just signed
like minimum weight, 108, something like that. Yeah.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! He's the size of my daughter, and she's 10. That's and no. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about win streaks or win streaks that matter. And I mean, what the fuck are we talking about here? And you're right, man. There's all kinds of criteria we're going to pump in. You see some pound for pound list, and they got Vladimir Klitschko in it.
Now I'm looking at
like how
this is right now, bro. On Wikipedia, I just typed it in on my laptop, bro. And some of these guys got Tyson Fury in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's blasphemy. Yeah, I think there's an argument to put Wilder in there for the fact that he fights guys that, you know what I mean, are 40, 50 pounds heavier than him. You know what I mean? And that's remarkable given, like, once again, that would be 5 divisions in the lower weight classes. You know what I mean? So, but to put a guy like Tyson Fury in there that's 270, you know what I mean? What does that prove?
There's only two heavyweights in the history of the sport that I would put in the pound for pound list, and that's Deontay Wilder and Chris Bird. Because they were small guys, man. They had Chris had no business of Wilder, okay, because he got that equalizer, but Chris Bird had no fucking business at heavyweight.
I would have to throw Holyfield in there too, though.
Holyfield could bang though. But he could bang though. See, Chris couldn't bang, not like that.
Yeah,
and he had to eat to keep that weight up. He had to eat food. I spoke. Yeah, man. I spoke to Chris, man, and he told me, man, he had to eat food to get paydays. You know what I'm saying? Because if he didn't like train and just ate normally, he'd shrivel up the cruiserweight. And he said there was no money there. That's why he was up there fighting, Ike Abiabuchi and all this other shit. He had no business in the ring with those guys. No business.
Chris Bird was slick though, man. He was a slick fighter.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw him on Instagram. He was talking about a comeback. I said, Chris, chill, dude.
Yeah, I see that. I gotta add somebody. I know you didn't mention him, but I'm gonna add Muhammad Ali. And the reason I'm gonna add Muhammad Ali is because the big thing about the pound for pound list is skill level. Muhammad Ali is probably one of the most skillful fighters I ever saw in my life watching fights. Think about how big Muhammad Ali is and how light he was on his fucking feet.
He was like 6'5".
Yeah, and how quick. This motherfucker is a heavyweight with the speed of a welterweight.
Yeah.
He got to be on pound for pound for me.
And he could crack too. He was able to crack.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, pound for pound is about your skill level.
Right. It says for the definition of pound for pound, it says pound for pound means the best fighter overall based upon his or her skills, whatever the weight. The term pound for pound was coined to recognize Sugar Ray Robinson as the best boxer regardless of weight class.
Yeah. Right. And of all time, in my opinion, Sugar Ray Robinson, Henry Armstrong, and Muhammad Ali are the greatest fighters of all time. Period.
Facts. I can't argue with you on Henry Robinson and Sugar Ray. I mean Henry Armstrong and Sugar Ray. Yeah, them some bad boys. You know what I'm saying? Man.
I still go back and watch all three of them fight.
But I know we kind of got off into the pound for pound thing. But like I said, man, if Gary beats Dev twice, he's definitely top 5 pound for pound. You can put him in any slot except for number 1. Now, if he takes the winner of Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, and beats them with ease and dominates whatever, he's number 1. Because I think Dev just doesn't get it done to be number 1 because Dev is still on the come up. He's not even a superstar yet. He's just a guy that has a belt that's getting ducked right now because he's a bad stylistically matchup. And he's young, and dudes don't want to lose to a young guy who doesn't bring in the paydays and bring in the quote unquote fame and stuff like that. If he was to beat him, you know what I'm saying. But I think, like I say, within the next 2 fights, 3 fights, if Dale gets the right fighters in the ring with him, if he beats Fortuna, Luke Campbell, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, then he's right there, bro. You can't take nothing away from it. And if he also moves to 140 and he starts taking guys down like Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, Victor Postal, all these guys, you know what I'm saying? He's right there, bro. He's right there. You know what I'm saying? I just think Dev, he's been dealt the short end of the stick. And that's why I think him and Gary Russell should come together because they have kind of the similar backgrounds where these guys are really not getting the fights. You know what I'm saying? More so Gary Russell too, because he's not getting the fights that we want him in. You have an entire weight division ducking him, and Dev has the same thing going on with him. You got Tank fighting somebody, you got Teofimo and Lomachenko fighting each other. Ryan Garcia is being held back to Golden Boy. So I think, that would be the perfect train wreck. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, fellas, I got to get out of here. My brother got to get up early in the morning, man. Yo, stay ready. Much love, family. Odd fella, ETB Boxing, 503 Line, man. Much love to y'all, man. Yo, I'm definitely gonna hit y'all up when I go to the state of Texas, man. I gotta get to Texas.
Man, I
Yeah,
appreciate
Yeah,
it. Too.
yeah. I saw something walking around up here. But I'll talk to y'all behind the scenes about that. I can't say too much, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, I saw some crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm gonna hit you, brothers. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you, brother. I'm gonna hit you.
all right, then, bro.
I got one more thing before we get up out of here.
What's
The
that?
Kilbrook and Crawford is official for November 14th. What is y'all thoughts on that fight before we get up out of
Me personally, I'm gonna go first, man. I like the fight for Terrence Crawford at this point. I was adamant, he needed to fight. My three picks for him was Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, or Kell Brook, and of course he got the non-PBC guy, Kell Brook. And like Drew Type said, man, if he don't mollywop this guy, break an eye socket, bang him up. I mean, what are we talking about here at this point, man? It's nothing to really talk about. I think he needs to go in with the mindset to seek and destroy. He needs to look impressive in his fight, possibly stop him early. Don't go to the later rounds like Earl Spence did, and just look good in this fight, man. And you'll have guys, the Bud fan club, the Bud Justice League, whatever you want to call them. I think them boys will be hyped up, and it'll make the Earl Spence and Bud fight more bigger. And I'm happy that ESPN and Top Rank are starting to come out with the heavy hitters, man, because they've been laying a lot of duds lately on this ESPN thing in the bubble. And on this ESPN Plus app, we just witnessed it last week with the whole ESPN Plus card. So I'm happy that ESPN Top Rank is giving Bud a fight finally. About fucking time, man.
My take on it is, look, we can get the broke up Kell Brook, or we can get the Brook that showed up and beat Sean Porter. Sean Porter, the guy that another guy that Bud don't want to fight. So if we get the Brook that showed up against Sean Porter, a solid Brook, a confident Brook with two working eyes, let's not forget, man, Brook was no slouch, man. Let's not forget that. So if we get that Brook that shows up, Bud might not have an easy time like he thinks. Well, you know what? I don't even know if he thinks he's gonna have an easy time. A fight is a fight. But Brook could shine in this fight. Don't sleep. I know we writing him off, but Brook he'll if he has a moment, and that knockdown on Green Beans against Green Beans, I know he got up and whooped his ass, but we know what we saw. And we saw Gamboa hurt Bud. Look, man, don't be surprised, man. We've seen weirder shit. But I'm gonna go ahead with the majority, and on paper, I'm gonna pick Bud, but we've seen weird shit. Don't be surprised if Kell Brook shows up in this fight and just says, you know what, I'm tired of losing, I'm tired of this bullshit, and if I'm gonna get one more payday, I'm gonna start with this motherfucker right here. I'm gonna remind him that I really walk around at 160, and he really is supposed to be at 135. Do not be surprised if we get a fucking upset. Don't be surprised. That's my take on it.
Man, for real. Oh, hey,
Yeah, man. Like I've been saying about this, is the thing with Kell Brook is we really don't know what Kell Brook we gonna get. I've been saying it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if most people think that Kell Brook is washed up, right? But we really don't know that, because if you think about it, all he did lost to was the two best fighters, two of the top fighters in EJ, and he lost to Triple G, right, at 160, right? So other than that, we ain't seen him fight nobody since then. So we don't know if he washed up, because we ain't been able to see him in the ring against somebody like that, against a top level opposition. So it's a mystery fight, and then we really don't know how good Bud is at 147. We really don't. You know, we can talk about the eye test and all of that, but we still ain't seen him in the ring with top-notch level competition. So, but at the end of the day, Bud got to stop him. If Bud don't stop him, you know, it's gonna show us a lot because I mean, EJ went and stopped him. They can make all the excuses they want. At the end of the day, EJ went and you know beat him down and stopped him. So Bud gotta stop him. But I mean, it's a mystery fight because you don't know what Kell Brook is. Just like Drew said, we might fuck around and get to Kell Brook of old. You know, the same Kell Brook that was in there with Sean Porter, the same Kell Brook that was in there with EJ. We don't know what Kell Brook we gonna get. We don't even know what he gonna look like at 147. But we will find out, you know, early on in that fight. So as far as a pick, you know, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Terrence Crawford. I got it. I got to. I ain't, you know, I wouldn't bet on it though. I'll just say it like that.
Really. All right, fella, what you got?
Listen, Bud is taking the safe fight. I mean, he could have took Thurman, who was a bona fide, former unified welterweight champion. Doesn't have a problem making the welterweight limit, but he's chosen Kell Brook, mind you, who hasn't been a welterweight since 2017. Since that beatdown he's took him from Errol Spence, he's fought 3 fights at the junior middleweight limit. 153 he weighed, 150, and then 153. So we're talking about a Kell Brook that will probably be weight drained when he fights Bud at 147. That's why I say this is a safe fight for Bud. Before this fight even happens, it speaks volumes of what you know what I mean, Bud's really about. Because instead of taking other credible welterweights in the division, he's bringing back possibly damaged, potentially weight-drained fighter down to fight. And we're giving him all these accolades and credibility that this is a good fight. Mind you, it is, but let's be real. Kell Brook is being weight-drained. He hasn't been at 147, like I said, since 2017. Bud should win this fight in routine fashion. Stoppage in late rounds. We know Bud has a problem with this. Kell Brook has a problem with his stamina in the late rounds. Yeah, Bud can get touched. Definitely can get touched with the fundamental straight rights that Kell Brook can apply to him. But in the end, I think Bud will be able to outlast Kell Brook, especially a weight-drained Kell Brook that hasn't seen the welterweight division since 2017. That's my take.
Hey, my take is I'm gonna come at y'all from an aspect of a lot. The person that fought Bud and dropped Bud in recent history says that Crawford was hurt in the 3rd round. I saw it in his eyes. That's Kavalasis. Kell Brook is another level of opponent. Kell Brook, just like Law Dog said, it's no 10-pound weight clause. So I might be weight drained at weigh-in, but I also might balloon back up once I put this water back in my body. Now, we know how Kell Brook likes to muscle his opponents. He couldn't muscle Earl Spence around, but he did muscle Sean Porter. Sean Porter's way bigger than Crawford. Yep. A stronger fighter than Crawford. Now, if Kell Brooks come in here and start muscling Crawford around early, and he wins a lot of the early rounds, what Crawford doing those later rounds means shit unless he gets the knockout. And like KT said, if he don't get a stoppage or a knockout in this fight, then we're gonna look at Crawford sideways. And at the same time, if he lets Kell Brook go in here and muscle his way around this fight, this is gonna be a tough fight for. This is not an easy walk through the bud. And like he said, I'm not betting on this fight. I'm a gambling fan. I couldn't bet on this fight because for one, I'm gonna pick Bud just on the simple fact I think Bud is a skillful fighter and should be able to move around and actually outbox Kell Brook. Boxing acumen, I got Crawford. But if they let Kell Brook come here, hold muscle, and move Crawford around, Crawford can flip around and lose this fight.
Yeah.
So that being said, I got Crawford winning by decision. I don't have him winning by knockout because, like I've never seen Kell Brook knocked out. I've only seen him get stopped by a broken eye socket, and he only lost to two of the best fighters in that he's Triple G and Earl Spence. So if Crawford wins, it's gonna be by decision. I don't see him knocking Kell Brook out. Do I want him to try to go in here and show me what he can do? Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna knock him out. But we'll see, because this is his toughest opponent at 147. This is a way tougher opponent than Jeff Horn. This is a way tougher opponent than Jose Benavidez. This is a real test at 147, and you better go in this fight like you could have fight somebody serious. So
Yeah.
with that being said, let me get some last words, Drew, because I know you got to get some sleep.
Yeah, man. Yo, shout out to you. Thank you for having me on your platform, sharing that with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always out here. You might not see me, but a lot of the brothers, we go on at the same time. I make sure I pull up multiple screens when I'm home and I'm smashing that like button, man, because we all gotta support one another.
Right.
It is imperative that we do that, man. So everybody that puts out content, I'm smashing all kinds of like buttons, man. And thank you for sharing your platform with me. Man, I appreciate and love all y'all brothers, man, for real, man. And now in this atmosphere, it is so important that we stick together, man. And if we got to fight about something, we do it behind the scenes, out of earshot of the haters, because they're always on alert, man. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the entire LDBC. It's LDBC or fucking nothing. But we got love for Dante and the ego. We all know how that is. But yeah, man. LDBC or nothing, man. Thank you.
Already. KT, let me get some last words.
Big Drew. Oh man, I appreciate you for bringing me on. Stay ready. You know, you already know. Big Drew, 503. All y'all, man. I'm subscribed to all y'all, so I fuck with all y'all heavy. And just like Drew said, we all gotta support each other. And shit, man. I appreciate y'all for bringing me on.
Already, man. Tell them how they can follow you, man, because y'all need to go support KT too as well.
Oh shit, everything boxing and sports on YouTube. And then on Facebook, I got my show. I be having it running on Facebook too. It's Keon Everything Boxing Turner. So Keon Everything Boxing Turner, and then just everything boxing and sports on YouTube. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow cooking.
All right. I'm actually running this on Facebook as well right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, all right, fella. Let me get some last words, my brother.
Yeah, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Big respect, you know what I mean, for bringing me in. Another Ringside Views. You know, dig. Big salute to everybody that was on the panel. Drew Titan, everything boxing and sports. You know what I mean? 503 Lion. And of course, my favorite sparring partner, Stay Ready Boxing TV. Hopefully, down the line, we can politic on this whole situation about bringing in a new weight class in the heavyweight division or a super cruiserweight division. You know what I mean? I feel that's kind of that's been bothering me a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm hoping we can talk about that in the future. But anyways, salute to everybody in the chat that passed through and participated and whatnot. You know what I mean? It's your favorite, yet your most hated R fella. Salute to the whole LDBC. And I'm Gizon.
Oh, man. I don't like the new weight classes. Fuck all that bullshit. Leave it alone. All these extra belts, I'm tired of this shit. 503, close us out, my brother.
Hey man, much love to everybody that came through today, man. This has been another Ringside Views, man. Episode 48. We feeling great on this Labor Day. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody had a safe and productive, you know what I'm saying, corona-free Labor Day, man, and everybody enjoyed their family, ate some good food, talked some good boxing, heard some good boxing news. I hope these past couple of days, man, y'all been entertained by the brothers. Another thing, man, we know who the real trailblazers of this boxing wave, you know what I'm saying, this boxing talk, the breaking the stories and all that, man. I'm seeing articles, multiple articles from all these black boxing platforms, man. But y'all gotta know one thing, bro. This shit started right here with the LDBC. It started right on Barbershop Conversations, the whole Gary Russell, Devin Heaney saga, and it transferred to Fanon, and it transferred to 78, you know, 2 nights in a row. It was on OG Boxing Talk yesterday and on 78 yesterday and 78 today. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, man, salute to the OG Drew Titan who came through earlier. He was one of the brothers that brought Batman on the platform. And y'all already know Trill Bill rock heavy with the LDBC, man. So if y'all see any of these boxing platforms trying to take credit or trying to act like they was the first ones talking about this shit, call them out on their bullshit. They're a motherfucking lie. You know what I'm saying? And salute to my brother Stay Ready for giving us a chance to talk about it today. I know he has something else in the chamber for tonight, but he did a Ringside Views, man, and I love when bro do the Ringside Views and talk boxing. You know what I'm saying? On his platform, man, because you know it's always good to, you know, get everything out there and to the brothers, man, and sisters as well. But much love to KT, everything boxing and sports, man. I just subscribed to your channel, big homie. Much love already. Much love to the OG Drew Titan, man, LDBC East Coast. Much love to my co-host with the most, man, all fella, man, Hamilton's very own. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be sure to subscribe to him as well, man. He got some shit coming. The War Report is coming real soon, so be on the lookout for that. Me and Stay Ready got some shit coming with the Houston Hard Hitters, man. When they start doing these fights again, we're gonna be covering them and going to these fights, getting these interviews, getting this raw and uncut footage from all these Houston gyms and the local fights in the city, man. And y'all be sure to, man, smash the like button, share the video, man. Much love to everybody that donated and the cash up, man. Y'all be sure to follow me, man. The road to 1K has been challenging. I haven't got there yet, man. But like Nip Hustle said, you know, I just didn't quit. You feel me? That's my best attribute. I just didn't quit, and I'm gonna keep that same motto. I'm not gonna quit, even though I ain't got to 1K yet, man. But y'all be sure to subscribe to me. I know I was supposed to go live today, but I didn't. I had some shit to do with the kids, man. We got this virtual school tomorrow, so I'm trying to learn that and get my kids back on schedule, man. But I had to come and talk to my bros. Stay Ready, Odd, man, Drew, KT, man, and this was a good talk. I'm gonna try to go live probably, if not tomorrow, Wednesday for sure. And you know, we're gonna get it in, man. We're gonna talk good boxing, basketball. We got football coming up, man. So be on the lookout for more content from me, your boy, 503 Line, man. And much love to everybody in the chat that came through. Smash the like button, share the video, and leave a comment down below. Let us know what y'all think. If we missed something, leave it in the comments, man. We're not gonna catch everything, bro. So if we missed something, leave it in the comments, man. Go to my comment section, wherever. You know what I'm saying? If we can talk about it, man. Hit us up in the DM. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on 503 Line on YouTube, Twitter, and Smoke City Mallcast on Instagram, man. And it's straight like that, man. H-Time for real. We gone.
Man, appreciate it, bro. Man, it's been a hell of a show tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a hell of a weekend. I need everybody that's in my chat to go over, take the same energy over to Barbershop Conversations. He's going to be talking Devin Heaney and Gary Russell, and he also got the 4-time NBA champion John Sally on tonight. So y'all need to go to Barbershop Conversations and check them out, man. And I appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure y'all like, comment, share this video to all your social media platforms. Let me know what y'all thought about the topic today. I am going to start doing more ringside views because boxing is back. I'm gonna be on this bitch. We're gonna be in this bitch live at 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's going down like Twin Towers. So y'all be patient with me, and I'm coming back you with some great topics and great things. And make sure y'all stay tuned to the LDBC. Shout out to the Lions Den boxing community. It's nice knowing it's your boy Mac. Stay Ready Boxing TV. You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready, man. Peace.
All right.